So here we have truly a hidden gem from Kanile'a, and this ukulele completely blows my mind. Um, just from how beautiful it is. I've actually never played, for me personally, played a Kanile'a that just had this particular kind of wood combination. This sides and back is something that's new that I've never sound sampled before for a back and sides. This is Kanile'a Ebony. At first, I was like, wow, that's like a really interesting color of Ziricote or like an interesting Macassar Ebony, but this is Kanile'a Ebony, which is crazy because it has so much of the street or the lines, the grain patterns here, and the curl within the wood itself, but all of these nice dark streaks here on the instrument, not only on the back, but here on the sides as well. It's just super striking, and man, it just has such dark chocolate color even here on this side. And then what's really cool is that it even pretty much in the scoop cutaway right here, that grain pattern pretty much follows into the scoop cutaway right there. So I just love how this ukulele is almost like a dark chocolate kind of instrument, especially with this really dark sinker redwood top, and includes that Kanile'a true relief right here where it bends down right here so that when you're holding the instrument like this, it just feels a little more comfortable because the wood angles down to pretty much your forearm right here. So it just feels so comfortable. And it's accented so prettily, that's not even a word, it's so accented so beautifully with the 5A curly maple as the bindings on the top, the back, here on the bottom of the bridge right here with this really nice design, as well as this really elegant rosette with this little loop right here. And you can even see that along the fretboard itself right here. Very elegant. I love it. I don't think I've ever seen Kanile'a, for me personally, do this kind of design. It's really nice. And what I really appreciate about this instrument is that it's so beautiful, but it's not in your face. It's not, there's no shell or palo abalone, there's no crazy designs. It's just beautiful because of how simple it is, but just the strikiness of the sinker redwood, as well as the, make sure I say it correctly, Kanile'a Ebony here on the sides and back. Just stunning, really. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm in love with this instrument. And of course the little side port right here. What can I say? This is a masterpiece from Kanile'a. Yeah, just beautiful. And then you can even see the maple wrap around the headstock, Kanile'a's crown headstock. And then another cool, unique feature about this specific Kanile'a is that these are tuners that I've never seen from Gotos. These are the Goto locking tuners, as you can see by these gears that's present right here on the back. But these tuners are so smooth and so accurate. It's just, when I was tuning this up, it's just, boop, it all just pretty much set right in with the tuning. But again, just looking at that headstock, it's just so clean. There's not too much going on, but just that outer edge of that maple and against the ebony and the black, it's so crisp, it's so beautiful. And of course, Kanile'a satin neck here on the back. This is just an all-around phenomenal instrument. And I didn't even get into the sound yet. This sound of this blows me away with how warm, how much just, it just really sits in that mid-range, but it has a lot of that warmth and lower tones, especially with that low G right here. Like these middle two, these top two strings, you can hear how much oomph it has in the instrument. But it doesn't overpower the bottom two strings, which is like more of the treble sound. It still has a really clean A string. And listen to that vibrato. So loud, but man, just so clean, so crisp, but also just so warm at the same time, with a good amount of oomph underneath. That A string really, really sings. And notice for something like this, like kind of E minor 7, the E note here on the A string, hear how clean and precise every single note is. It doesn't get muddy. One note doesn't overpower one. Everything is just so crisp. Even if I move it to like this A minor chord, just so so pleasing. And another thing too is the action on this instrument. It's like perfect. It's perfectly balanced. Now, for someone like me, I usually always like the absolute. I push the limits in terms of like having the lowest setup to where it's not buzzing because I'm a very soft player. But even for someone like me who's very picky and I like to tease myself, I have girl hands, this is set up extremely well. For me, it could be a little lower, but for the compromise of it being just a little higher, it just has more projection. And I can see myself if I were to try to dig in and strum into this instrument. Like it just doesn't buzz. It's just, it can take it. Just listen how much. It's still ringing. It's a phenomenal instrument. Kanile'a did themselves with this one. This is pristine. So here's a sound sample trying to do this instrument some justice. Here we go. Oh, it's a killer.
Such a sweet song.
Killer. I love it. One of my favorites.